Hello, swivel heads. It's Greg Allison, Green Griggs, coming to you live on Wednesday night. Time on deck is 4200 hours Central Daylight Time. Again, it is 6 April 22. Now, my friends, I'm here to tell you that we are facing starvation this year. We're facing rampant food inflation, starvation in many pockets of the world, maybe here. And we're facing unchallenged, unprecedented challenges in food supply in many decades, maybe centuries. It might have been 1817 since we've seen challenges like we're going to see this year, this season. We already had a lot of this structurally baked into the cake, but this recent war is going to put the nasty frosting on top. I'm going to go all into that, but I'm going to shock you. I'm going to tell you that this planet could actually feed and sustain far more people than you can imagine. I'm going to blow your socks off when I talk about the numbers, what this planet really could sustain. Problem is, we're doing all wrong. What's unsustainable is modern agriculture. Now, that's going to blow your mind because you say, oh, Greg, modern agriculture is the green revolution. It is what enables us to feed so many people. It has been to a point with a price, but there's other ways. And we're going to go all into that. There are other ways to do this. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So if you are joining this video later, I hope you watched the first part of this. If you are new to my channel, this is a live session. So toward the end, we're going to have a discussion amongst our viewers. And in fact, I may entertain some discussion as I go here because I'm going to have a live audience here. So we will be able to talk about these things. And in fact, I'm refreshing my laptop over here so I can watch the live chat session and see what you guys are having to say as I scroll through on this computer various tabs for articles that I'm going to highlight what I'm bringing to you, the story, the truth, the things that you have never heard before about the challenges that we're facing right now. Now, I've talked about a lot of this before. Okay, we got 17 in the room. I've talked about a lot of these things many times before, but this time we're going to go into it. We're going to do some analysis on some of the challenges that we're facing right now. And everybody knows, and I've talked about till I'm blue in the face about how the increase in the cost of fuel and fertilizer are going to drive up cost. But I've also talked about how various agricultural products are now being embargoed or exports shut down from many countries that are providing these things and how that's going to impact us. As you know, Ukraine and Russia collectively supply about 30% of the world's grain. Ukraine is considered a breadbasket of Europe, for example. Well, we all know that in Ukraine, something's happening this year. There's a war. And because of that, a lot of the ports that export things and a lot of the facilities used to export those grains have been destroyed. A lot of the infrastructure is destroyed. And they're also having the increases in food prices and many other things. Of course, we have found that the greatest anti-tank weapon in the world is the John Deere tractor, apparently. And the farmers are amassing some equipment. The problem is fertilizers are skyrocketing in high. Seed availability may be a challenge. And these farmers are going to have a hard time planting because a lot of them are all fighting in the war, and they're going to have an even harder time getting things to market. And in fact, a lot of things that would normally be getting planted, this is planting season, guys. Planting season is upon us. Are they out there prepping their fields and planting? And if they are, how do they maintain things with the fuel shortages? How do they keep running their tractors with the fertilizer shortages, the stuff that they normally get from Russia? And how is this stuff going to get to market? There's going to be huge challenges in production and distribution, especially when you consider all the other food chain, supply chain issues, and they're all interconnected, my friends. All the supply chain issues are interconnected. We have this past year played through the nose for stuff that started with shutdowns in China last year. Well, guess what? China is shut down all over again. Huge new supply chain issues are in the offering, but these are nothing. I'm going to show you why there are long-term issues with availability of basic fertilizer components such as phosphorus. Huge challenges. And why the real challenge is just the way we do agriculture today. I'm going to show you why modern agriculture has got huge issues going forward. But I always believe you bring a solution when you bring a problem. I've got solutions, and my solutions are going to shock you, because we're told there's too many people in this world. We have too many. I'm going to say we'll never have too many people in this world. Never. We can sustain probably 2 trillion people on this planet, or 1 trillion at least, without really impacting the environment or Mother Nature if we do it right. Now that is just, you're going to say, no, Greg, that's impossible. No, it is possible. I'm going to show you. We're going to talk about it. But we'll never probably face that problem. We're actually, our biggest problem is being population implosion. We're going to have challenges maintaining a population. Okay. So we're not going to have to worry about that. But, you know, the things that they tell us, the narratives that we hear are full of stuff that would make great fertilizer, and my worms would love it wonderfully. A lot of Bravo Sierra coming out of the think tanks and our government and just all these people that are feeding us all this. Yeah, Bravo Sierra. Well, a lot of this Bravo Sierra is headed into the rotary impeller right now because it's hitting the fan. And that's going to be our first upfront issues. Our first upfront issues are because of the increase in, you know, even before Russia was embargoed, even before we shut down buying from them, even before all these things happened, countries started saying they weren't shipping stuff, our fuel prices were going, I was already talking about that. The price of fertilizer was already going, well, guess what? Now they're going straight up like one of these rockets I built. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a huge issue. Hey, Chewy Weather. Hey, thank you, Doug. Yeah, please thank with thumbs up. We need it. This is why you need to grow a garden. I've been saying this a long time. You need to watch the videos I did with the Dervase family, how their Dervase family produces enough food on 1/10 of an acre to feed 4 adults and to sell from it and make a living off that 1/10 of an acre. Now, they don't eat their grain products from it, but everything else except the grain products that they consume. Now, let me tell you another funny wrinkle. You can actually produce all the nutrients you need off of 1/10 of an acre. And we laid that out to you mathematically, Jason Avers and I, in a video back several months ago. You need to see that. Maybe we can pull it up later. But also bear in mind, oh yeah, he's done a great video just recently. He's got Green Agroforestry, I believe is his channel name. I have to go back and check. He changed his channel name, I believe. But he's just done a video about how you manage growing food on top of septic fill lines. That's something that I'm going to either have to get him on to talk about, or I may have to talk about that in a separate video coming up myself. But he's got an excellent video out there on that. Go out and watch it. He's very informative. He is a brilliant individual. I love having him on the channel. I love watching and hearing him. He is so smart that you would always learn from listening to Jason Avers. He's my fellow wizard, you might say. So, all right, all that said, we're going to get all of this. I'm going to share a bunch of articles. But first, I must say you really need to subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and click all, because I bring you a lot of stories about stuff coming on in this world, what's happening, things coming at us, so that you can know to be aware and to prepare. But I also explain to you why farmers and preppers are going to starve. I explain to you how we can survive, how we can eat, how we can make it. I've got videos about how to garden when there's no stores to go to get your supplies. These are things you need to know. The kind of stuff that Jason Avers and I put up there, the kind of things that you need to know. And, and I've got videos on how to eat free from the weeds and the trees, as long as we're not in a nuclear winter, so at least things are growing. But that's why seeds are vitally important, because even whether you're growing your own garden or you're waiting to be able to grow your own garden, if you're having to wait to grow your own garden, you better go to prepwithgregs.com and other sources to look at long-term food storage. But buy your seeds right now. It is springtime. If you've not stocked up your seeds, I would say get them. Get extra. Get reserves. There may be currency down the road. It might be your insurance policy for when, if you have a bad crop. Buy extra seeds. Store up. And then again, if it really hits the fan, what you might do with that Bravo Sierra goes in that rotary impeller. If you have enough seeds, you might just barter with your neighbors. Set up sharecropping arrangements with your neighbors. If they can't grow their own, set up a deal with them. And then, you know what? I go to the farmer. I go all the time to Dog Days Flea Market, I buy more hose than I'm going to use. Greg, why does Greg Allison buy so many hose? It's because I want my neighbors to be able to garden so they don't come eat me. Why do I have so much seeds? For my neighbors. So part of my strategy is to have my neighbors growing food when it hits the jizz, when the fizzy hits the jizzy, or whatever Canadian prep, whatever he calls it. When the Bravo Sierra hits roller impeller, let's put it that way. I can say that a lot easier than what he says. But anyway, so guys, seeds are critical. And with that, we're going to do a share screen. We're going to go through a bunch of articles, but we're going to start it over here. Hang on, guys. We're going to start it over here with, guess what? We're going to talk about seeds for a second because, I almost shut down the whole thing in the wrong. Did I do it? What happened? Uh-oh. I don't see my normal thing here. There it is. Yeah, my normal thing that gets in my way disappeared, interestingly. So, okay, here we are, guys. True Leaf Market. You find the links for True Leaf Market. You find my affiliate marketing links, which helps my channel and helps me. It won't cost you a cent more, but if you go to my affiliate marketing links, it helps me a little bit. Not a lot. I get a little bit from it. If you go to True Leaf Market and buy your seeds. And the great thing about True Leaf Market is they have the open air pollinated, non-hybrid seeds that you need so you can plant and get the same crops back again. These are non-GMO seeds. They're just what you want to plant. And they've got all kind of garden seeds. They got seeds of all types, supplies, growing kits. And then I do a lot of microgreen seeds, sprouts, wheatgrass, vegetable seeds, herbs, flowers, cover crops, which are important, grass and grains, specialty seeds, heirloom, organic. See, that's what you get here. Heirloom. That's what they sell. Anyway, check it out. Hey, I see wise owls in the room. We have 12 hours of cold coming. Yeah. So if you're already planting your lettuce on the south side, you better find a way to cover it up. Monique Pearl, what are PVC tones? Well, my tones have PVC. Well, you can get, you can have these high tones or low tones. You just throw polyethylene over your garden. That's a gardening technique I should cover in not too distant future. Jinjamin, you can survive on your fingernails for a week or two. That sounds like what an ex-Chinese premier would tell us, right? Jinjamin. That's pretty close to a couple of Chinese premiers back name, right? He's the old guy who's still looking over Xi Jinping's shoulder. But he spells it different than you spell it. Sounds the same. Your name is a homonym. I suppose that's on purpose. Or is your name Zinjamin? All right. So check out True Leaf Market. So I'm going to close that window because we're going to rock forward here and talk about structurally what's going on with fertilizers. Why modern agriculture is unsustainable. That's where we're going, guys. We're going here real fast. Modern agriculture is an issue. And the issue comes in with, look here. Here is the cost of fertilizers, my friend, until about August, September. And then they started shooting up. Now, this cuts off with December. Well, guess what? This chart pre-exists the war. This whole chart pre-exists the price increases that are coming out due to the war. You see, they were already shooting up. They were already going back guano, which we really could use for fertilizer, crazy. So it hasn't gotten any better, trust me, my friends, but these are in, like here, I'm seeing $500. I understand that these costs are now on the order of now I understand that fertilizer is like up here at $1,400 now, some of these things, $1,400. They're huge, huge, huge increases in some of these products here. So as you know, the one that everyone's talking about is nitrogen, because nitrogen is made from natural gas primarily. Is a key constituent of our fertilizers. Our fertilizers that we put in our crops are the macronutrients, are NPK. N is for nitrogen, P is for phosphorus, and K is for potassium, potash. So, and you can see here some of dry average rates. So this is some of the stuff over time going up. And yeah, so I mainly wanted to show you guys this price increase, which predated the war. I told you it was already pre-baked in. I mentioned that earlier. And this is a proof that it was already pre-baked in. Now, let's see here. We'll come back to that in a little bit. In fact, I should forward this like right about here. Ping. All right. Humanity is flushing away one of life's essential elements. And what is that element? Phosphate. Phosphate. This is a phosphate mine right here. A phosphate mine, a strip mine. And we find that phosphate seems to be a finite resource because it's a mineral. We mine it. And there are those that project it will peak in availability in the year 2030. Some take objection with that because this is a lot like the peak oil argument. 2030, by the way, is how many years from now? 8? Yeah, 8 years from now. Wow. So after it peaks, what happens? The prices go up because the demand is going up and supply is going down, which also means availability goes down. Fertilizer goes down. Starvation goes around. But guess what? This is the difference of a plant growing with phosphate and plant that doesn't have phosphate. No phosphate, phosphate. No P, P. And yeah, even your P is one way to get some of this stuff. So the problem is, like I said earlier, we're flushing all the good nutrients down the toilet. That's one of the problems in our agricultural system. So we're going to talk about solutions in a little bit as we go through this stuff. So this is the issue here. Now, let's see. Somewhere here it tells us that, maybe it's another article. Yeah. Phosphate is attained through rock mining. 70% of the world's phosphate reserves are located in North Africa, China, Russia, South Africa, and the United States. But I'm going to show you that China is actually the biggest, I believe. We'll look at the exporters. And China's a big exporter of potash. Actually, see, the number one exporter is Canada. Excuse me. Canada is the number one exporter. But look at this. Who's the 2 and 3 exporter who's together exceed Canada in production? What countries is this? And guess what? They're not exporting. So not only, see, Russia said they're not exporting fertilizer. Russia's not going to be exporting nitrogen fertilizer. He made that announcement. And Belarus is in with Russia, pretty much lock, stock, and barrel. So Russia and Belarus are the main exporters of potash right now. Well, excuse me, this is potash. This is not phosphorus. I got these mixed up. Okay, we'll come back around. This article belongs down the road here. Yeah, I got them mixed up. That's what got me confused a minute ago. I got them backwards here. So what you're going to find, China is the exporter of phosphate. What happened there? I got these articles mixed up. China is your phosphate exporter, and they're saying they're going to freeze global supply. They're not going to ship it. How did I miss that? Yeah. And it turns out that China is the number one exporter of phosphate. Look how much phosphate China exports compared to these other guys. So this is potassium. Oh, what happened there? I was looking up phosphate. Okay, we're getting this stuff mixed up. How can that? These articles are in contradiction with each other. All right. So, but it says phosphate. Phosphates here. Phosphates of potassium. Okay, so it's a salt, but that's kind of backwards. Okay, but anyway, China's a big exporter of phosphate. All right, so we got some of the stuff gets a little bit backwards. I'm going to shut down some of these articles here. And so what you find is that China is freezing exports. Russia's freezing exports. I don't think they're getting anything out of Belarus. There's no food coming out of You don't expect major shortages in foods coming out of Ukraine. Probably nothing much coming out of Russia. China's been hoarding food. So food prices are going to go up, and you expect shortages because the availability of fertilizers is going in the drink. So here's the potash. So this is potassium. See, potassium is challenged too. So nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium, all three are in grave shortage, and phosphate may have a long-term critical shortage. One of these articles, and I think I just closed it, was telling us that phosphate is expected to run out in 50 to 100 years. Now, this article begs to differ with that. This article says, well, all that's just part of your fear mongering of peak oil. So, and they cite it here. They cite some of this. Dr. Cordell, who brought some of this stuff out when she was in her 2011 analysis, was saying that, hey, that that we would peak in 2030 and run out in 50 to 100 years. But they're saying that's not true. But their debunking of it is just basically you're saying, hey, yeah, we probably got 300 years supply because we can probably find it in the bottom of the ocean. Where's that at? Let's see. So, yeah. For example, at the bottom of the sea. Okay, well, that's nice to know, but they don't know that. So what they're saying, there are thought to be numerous or as yet unknown or untapped deposits. Now, that might be true. That might be true. But, if you're mining the bottom of the sea, it's going to cost you more to get it. You're going to be damaging the environment of the sea, probably. And even then, they're projecting 300 years. That's somewhat shy of an eternity. So there's still issues with what they're claiming here. One, they don't know it. See, all these other numbers are based on known reserves. Now, usually there are unknown reserves. How big are there? How much might you find there? Are we going to be at a cost increase point in 2030 because we've reached some peak level? Is it going to cause shortages, even though there may be other reserves? Or are we going to find vast reserves that we can tap into? That's unknown. We're going into unknown territory. Wiseau says it is the weakening of the magnetosphere. Okay, she's talking about something else here. So I'm going to kick this article out. I'm going to kick. Yeah, here they're talking about finite. Yeah, here they are. Say, look, several reports have also warned that global reserves would be depleted within the next 50 to 100 years. Again, what are we talking about here? This is on the phosphate, on phosphates. So we can see that you got to have phosphates. Well, you got to have nitrogen, and you've got to have potassium too. You need all three. And if you short any of them, you get something that looks like this between that and that. So this is a kind of a growth pattern, a deficit you will see if you cut a plant short of any of the three, particularly for growing plants, nitrogen. All right, so these are critical things to know. I'm going to close this article. I'm going to close. Oh, yeah. So we're going to talk about a few other things here. So the key thing to know is that we're facing huge shortages. But let me stop the share for a minute. We'll come back into it for a minute. Let's just talk here for a second. There are key shortages right now. Well, look, we already have price increases stacked in. And a lot of them did start with some of the sanctions and stuff that started with Russia surrounding Ukraine. But there were other factors that were playing into this. A lot of it just their own instability of our money, because we printed so much of it to cover and throw out money during the pandemic. We threw money out everywhere. Helicopter money, like Ben Bernanke used to talk about. Helicopter money, where we're just throwing it everywhere. Oh, you need some money? Here it is. We just do it everywhere. Well, when you do that, you increase the money supply. When you increase the money supply, you decrease the value of money. We've gotten away with that for a long time because the dollar has been the world's reserve currency. There's just been so much money out there in the money supply because everybody in the world is trying to buy stuff in dollars. Well, recent decisions that our country has made in the area of embargoing and other things has really put a tight spot there. A lot of countries are not willing to take dollars for exchange of the goods. The main country that we have used it for the drug deal to ensure that happened was that Saudi Arabia would take dollars and dollars only for the sale of their oil in exchange for us protecting them. But then we started cutting deals with Iran, which they were unhappy with, and we refused to sell them F-35s, which they're unhappy with. So now they're in discussions with China about selling oil and wine. Oh yeah, now Russia's saying that Russia also sells oil, and Russia said, okay, we're only going to accept rubles. Yeah, the ruble had crashed, but guess what? It's coming back up because of that. Well, what all this means is our dollar is in trouble. Now, the Federal Reserve is tightening the reins on interest and money supply to try to correct for that. But that's going to cause high interest rates. It's going to strangle the economy to a large degree. So we've got stagflation coming. That's like we saw in the era of Jimmy Carter. It's been the late 70s since we saw stagflation. Usually inflation is because your economy is booming, but we're going to see other factors going in here. So it's going to be a very complicated picture moving forward. And we're still going to get inflation. That's already happened. Go to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store today, and just a 6-pack of Gatorade was well over $6, and it was just last summer I was buying, I don't know, $3 maybe a 6-pack. So, I was buying it from my clothes. Hey Stan, how you doing? I will check the chat session in a little bit. I'm just kind of trying to go through some of these key topics. So I want to get them out here real fast. And yeah, for those that are never watched my channel before, yeah, I do try to cover just about everything in chat. It may be hard to do tonight since I'm running my lips so much early on here, but I'm trying to get these key points out here. And I'm doing this more on Wednesdays than what I used to. Because usually my Wednesday and Friday sessions are just a family session on this channel for us to chat with each other. But I wanted to get this topic out, and I just didn't have enough time to bring it out any other way today because I've been busy. So I'm doing it in my live chat. So guys, we're going to go back into this. But guess what? There is hope. There is hope. And that hope goes back to the DeVace family from Pasadena, California. It goes back to what Jason Avers and I was talking about. I hope to find him in my channel. He might pop up in the chat. He comes in our chat a lot. Jason Avers and I was talking about a while back how you can feed a family of 4 on 1/10 of an acre to provide all the nutrients you need on 1/10 of an acre, a little bit less than 1/10 of an acre. Now, if you want to forego grain products, which grain's terrible for you anyway, you should maybe eat more vegetables. It would be better for you to do that. Then you could probably do better than that. So, by the way, their DeVace family actually makes a living off of 1/10 of an acre and grows all the food to eat except for grain products. And grain products have been cheap in the past, so that's how they've got away with it. Maybe the future price increases, they may be challenged, except probably the stuff they sell will go up even more. So they'll probably be covered by that. Quail's like so many eggs, it's crazy. Yeah, shut on my legs, holy smoke. 300 per year, says Undercover Project. What are you talking about there? Oh, quail eggs? Is that what a quail weighs in 1 year? Interesting. So guys, we have solutions, but furthermore, we don't have to flush all our nutrients down the toilet. That's what we're doing. We're mining nutrients like crazy, and then we flush them all away. You can't keep doing that. And the modern agriculture method, just running NPK over the soil is not good for us anyway. You know what? I find myself having to eat a lot of tree nuts to make up for the fact that there's no magnesium hardly in the vegetables you eat. My heart starts going beating fast when I don't get enough magnesium. And I'm not getting it from the regular food I eat. Tree nuts, though, pull from deep down in the soil. The roots are pulling that magnesium up from deep down. The upper layers of soil and agricultural systems have been depleted of that, unless you buy from an organic farmer who's putting rock dust in a soil. This regular. So that's one of the micronutrients. There's a lot of micronutrients that we need in our diet. Rock dust usually provides for that. So what we need to do is compost more. We're throwing a lot of stuff away. A lot of stuff's not getting reused. We need composting toilets. And also, we need to quit growing yards, lawns. There is something I've been told on the order 42 to 47, and I hear the numbers closer to 47 million acres of lawns in North America. Do you realize that you could feed about 1.88 billion people on North American lawns if you used the methods that Jason Avers and I talked about, the methods of the DeVace family? Almost 2 billion people off North American lawns. That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of people, my friends. And it goes way beyond that. We're going to kind of go through this a little bit. We're going to have a little fun with some of these things. All right, let's go back into share. Yeah, solutions. And remember that habitat concept I come for, my universal habitat? It's based on 1/10 of an acre. You live in it and you grow food on the entire 1/10 of an acre. In fact, you could actually grow far more food in that habitat than that. Watch my videos on it. It's, maybe even 2.5 times more food in that 1/10 of an acre, the way I laid it out, just depending on what you do, how you layer it. You could grow a lot more food. So growing a food is something that we could take care of. It is something that there's no reason for people to be starving. What we need to do is get rid of homeowners associations, county and city governments, especially city governments that want to regulate you can't grow in your yards. Grass, forget grass. Grass is so 20th century. We need to get rid of grass. Working in a factory and working in town is so 20th century. We need to work from our own homes as much as possible. And this universal habitat concept will take care of so much. But even short of the international, short of that, we could, my friends, we could feed the world. Now think about this. The universal habitat on 1/10 of an acre, the UN one time projected the world's population would peak at around 9 billion people. Some are saying it'll go higher, but it's beginning like maybe not. But at 9 billion people, if you had all these people living in habitats like this, how much area would you need to take care of the world's population? You would need an area the size of Texas and New Mexico, or half of Alaska. Problem is, the world's population is dropping, and it's dropping more in the countries where we've reached the level of comfort we have in the Western world. And the whole world could come up that level, especially if we lived in habitats like this, because you'd have everything you need. So the population we'll be challenged to keep the population up. But I will submit to you, we could probably have 1 to 2 trillion people on this planet easily without impacting the environment. Remember, the key thing about the habitat is it doesn't really impact the environment. And I didn't come up with that because I was worried about global warming and all those other things. It was just a matter of self-sufficiency. It just so happens that all these other things are spinoffs. All the things that so many people are so concerned about, easily done without a ginormous soul-eating world government to swallow you whole and devour your soul. No, we're talking freedom. All right, let's go to look at some other stuff here. Freedom. All right, guys, here we are. Grasses of North America. Grassland takes up 2% of North America. And what you find here is this article from Insider, which is a very interesting news source. I've got some friends that write for Insider sometimes. And here this says, let's see. Oh yeah, we're spending $30 billion a year on lawn care anyway. How much resources are we spending to take care of our lawns? Well, this article is saying that there's over 40 million acres of lawn just in the continental United States. Over. Well, I hear that if you look at North America, something like 47 million. Okay, if it's 47 million, just multiply that times 10 for 1/10 of an acre, and then you multiply another 4 for each number of people each 1/10 of an acre would survive you, and you come up with something on the order of 1.88 billion people that could live off the lawns in North America alone. Imagine that. But look, worldwide, cropland, there's 4.62 billion acres of cropland globally. 4.62 billion acres. I don't know if y'all are still seeing it. Yeah, y'all are still seeing the screen. Good. Okay. So what that equates to, my friends, 4.62 billion acres is, if you ran those kind of numbers through this, you would come out with the ability to feed off that. This is just the arable land. 184 billion people, almost 200 billion people. Now, this is just arable land, or really the cropland is half of the arable land. And you could actually grow in what you're living in the cities too. So that's another big chunk of land that they're not counting. So you could easily probably, between the urban landscape, if you reconstituted it according to my habitat concept, and the cropland and our lawns all combined, feed over 200 billion people. Now, considering arable land is just a very thin slice of what land is actually on the continents. Most of the land on the continents is mountains, forest, desert, and really just land that's a tundra, land that's unsuitable to grow. It's not considered arable land. Now, the oceans occupy almost 3/4 of the earth. So I could say if you went out in the ocean, and most of the oceans, most of it is dead zone. So if you did seasteading, you could easily, with seasteading, have at least 1 trillion people on the planet you could feed. But you could seastead with technology similar to my universal habitat and the production of sea creep by flashing electricity through the seawater to accrete a natural concrete on the wires, which is doable. So there's a lot that can be done to provide for a population much larger than we'll ever have on this earth. So this whole thing telling, so we'll never get to 200. We'll never get to 200 billion people. We'll struggle to maintain 9 billion, 8 billion, 6 billion. But you'll actually find we'll probably need more people. And then there's the whole concepts of space development, space colonization, and so forth. So we're going to struggle to keep the population. Something Elon Musk talks about. Malthus, thought that, that every extra hand in the mouth was just an extra eater. But what Malthus failed to take into account was there was also a mind with every set of hands, a mind that could be creative and come up with new ways to feed more people. And the Green Revolution was the stopgap method that was employed. But what I've just shown you is that's not the best way to go forward. In fact, it's not sustainable. But yet we can develop other means to do that. So let me end this video. Let's stop the share. I'm going to end these two. I want to save this. There we go. Now I want to, if my cursor don't freeze, end that, come back into the chat session here. And let me go through and see what you guys are telling me. Drink a little coffee first. Elon Musk, my kind of oligarch. Well, he didn't make his own way. He didn't have to have permission of the government, supposedly too much. So, question: why don't people raise grouse instead of quail? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I suppose they could. All righty, how are y'all doing? Man, here I'm going to pull up my laptop here, and I'm just going to scroll through it as long as I can, and I might go back to my chat room here in the main computer here. But I want to see what you guys are having to say. I usually scroll through, and I might pull up some other windows in a little bit to look at stuff I would normally look at on a Wednesday night. So okay, now from this phase of the video, we've been on here for how long now? We've been going for, I don't remember start time. Probably an hour, I'd say, for the most. My friends, we can fix these things. And I'll try to get some other videos. Maybe we'll go through this. My universal habitat concept is a way to fix this. There's many ways to fix this, but I think that is the most elegant way. And I work on that. So I come here with solutions. I talk about problems. Most people see the beginning of my videos say, oh, all Greg does is fearmonger. Well, the only reason they think that's because they never listen to the end of the video where I bring in the solutions. Maybe I need to talk solution first and then put up the problem, but then nobody would watch it at all. Those people love the negative side, even though they gripe about it. You put out a video talking from the other end and they go, they don't even watch it. We can fix everything, flowers and unicorns. Nobody watch it. Isn't it funny? If they won't watch the end and catch the fix. I don't know, guys. It's kind of funny. All right. So let's go through here. Saxon, hey. Ivan Langley, hello, my friends. Just prep. That's right, Saxon. Prep. There are many ways to prep, though. You need to store food. You need to store seeds. You need to have your nugs and kibbles to feed your nugs. You know what I mean? You need to protect yourselves in every way you can in your family. You need to know some bushcrafting, but you also need to know how to homestead. These are all awesome skills. Gardening, awesome skills. The things you need to know. Ivan says, heck yes. Monique, hi, Greg. Still Roz, howdy. Uncommon, smack the thumbs up. Yes, please, guys. Hit the thumbs up. We got 47 in the room and only 25 thumbs up so far. Is that right? Maybe if I hit a refresh, I'll see a bigger number. But 25 is pretty small for this point in our video. Let me hit the refresh number, see if it's gone up. Okay, 55. Very good. 81 room. Why don't those numbers update? Interesting. All right, I better check the chat because I know one thing. If I don't check the chat scene, I'm going to lose some of the chat things people are saying. Yeah, I think I already did when I hit the refresh. See, I harvest my own seeds year to year, and you scrap some organic produce I buy from the local farmers. Bing! CR, you are gold star. You were on top of it. You at the head of the class. Undercover project, not touching my birds. Uh-oh. Awesome, yes, that's true, GG. Ivan Langley, yep, Taz, good old PCR. Oh, for birds. Oh my gosh. Melanized chickens may slow land eggs, but they are fertilizer machines. Yeah, they do make the nitrogen. Oh yeah, you know what else you can do with that nitrogen? You can make a certain powder that goes bang, bang, bang. A tenth of an acre would be like 100 by 43. There you go, Daniel. How you doing, Daniel? Yeah, that's about right. So let's see. John the Spirit says, yeah, we aren't selling eggs, so we have no excuse looking at our birds. Okay. Now, to maintain your chickens will help feed your dogs and cats. You better have some extra chickens to feed them dogs and cats. You know, that's a good idea. Have extra chickens, extra boids, whatever. If you're growing ducks or if you're growing quails or grouse. We have grouse in the house. Even an acre is plenty for a family. That's right. You don't even need an acre. Strawberries, potatoes, sweet potatoes. You're right there, Paul. And you can grow those strawberries on the wall. You can grow them on tubes suspended, flowing aquaponics nutrients through them. Strawberries are good for stuff like that. Black Australorphes. I don't know, that's some kind. What is that? A chicken, Melanie? Laying 4 months. Undercover project. I'll be eating my quail right after my chickens comes out brooders. Okay. Now, quail do grow out fast and they get started quick. My husband wanted pigeons. Sigh. I tried to get rid of them. They flew back because pigeons do that. Yeah, isn't that funny? The neighbors don't like them. Imagine that. But the hawks get them. Now, that's no surprise. Hawks, eagles, they love pigeons, don't they? Pigeons are like chickens of the bird world. Chickens of the bird world. They all like to eat the pigeon. All right, Melanie Line says, I'll have to get a few of those if I can. Now, as Mammal Gross, aloe is a growth agent. Okay, aloe? Aloe, I mean, like the plant. Aloe, how you say it? Aloe. I can't even say it right now. Holy smoke. I know better than that. Yeah, but chicken manure is a hot fertilizer. Rabbit is told, yeah, chicken manure will burn stuff up, but it is an excellent nitrogen source. It's overloaded. But worm manure is better than any of them. But, you know, actually chicken manure is too nitrogen rich to throw in the worm bed. You need to break it down first. Large brown and non-flogging rooster. That sounds good, Melanie. Biden is paying farmers not to farm. That should tell us something. Yeah, it's not a good thing. 40 going west. Hey, get off my lawn. There you go. Steffords, how much of what? The cropland did Bill Gates buy? A good bit. He'll probably shut it down. I don't know that, or grow stuff to make fake meat. Soy burgers, basically. I don't know. Yeah, so all the guys can be soy boys, which he might like that, according to some of the rumors I've heard. He hung around with Epstein, right? And his wife divorced him. Talked about us hanging out with Epstein. But I'm hearing there's some other rumors too. Maybe Bill likes his soy boys. Maybe that's why he wants to create more of this soy hamburger. I don't know. I hear rumors. Just rumors. Just don't listen, or just rumors. Don't listen. There's nothing here. Move along. I said nothing. Nothing said. All right. Well, let's see. Daniel, pests eat more food than what it makes it the human trough. That's true. They eat a lot. There's a lot of what. See, the whole agricultural system, the whole big funnel, starts in the mines and the oil wells and the natural gas wells, and it's transported out and through pipelines and trucks and trains, and it makes it through the refineries that process the fuels, to the factories, the mills that grind the stuff that become the fertilizers. Then it goes to the farms where it's put out in the tractors, and the tractors run over that field. After the harvest, of course, they got to cut all the stalks, and they got to turn them under. Then they got to diss the land to break it all up. Then they come back and plant it. Then they got to put the fertilizers and the herbicides and the pesticides. And these tractors and equipment just running back and forth across those fields all year long, burning fuel. And then they come back and harvest it. The grain is put in a silo, and that keep it. They get dry it. Sometimes, like for wheat, they dry that stuff with that nasty glyphosate, which we call Roundup. Well, they actually dry it in the field, the plants, to kill them all, so they can harvest it all at one time. The grain bins blow air through the through the grain. Sometimes they come back and add pesticides to the stuff inside the grain bins. You didn't know that, did you? So that weevils don't eat up the grains. And then they take all the stuff out of the grain bins. They ship it to a crusher where the stuff is crushed, milled, and then it goes to a factory where it goes to all kind of processes, bagging, goes to other factories. So maybe some of the stuff is baked, packaged, warehoused, and it goes to a store. There is trucks and tractors and boats and ships and all kind of stuff throughout the entire, that handle every little thing you eat over and over and over and over and over again, shipping this stuff all over the place. Shipping, refrigeration, heating, drying, mining, grinding, a lot of processes just to get your food to the table. What if you grew it all in your house? What if you grew it all in your lawn or in your home? Straight from there through your fridge to your fork, maybe to your stove to your fork. Imagine that. You'd eliminate all that other stuff. How much more efficient is that? How much more efficient is that? And you know that food has far more nutrient value, more vitamins when it's fresh, picked fresh. Do you realize that the junk you buy at the stores, the carrots and all these things, they are specially bred to be tough carrots that can survive on the store shelf for months on end. They're really nice, wonderful carrots that are so sweet, delectable, they couldn't make it. So, we're growing yucky carrots. You want to try some of the carrots, some specialty carrots that some of the farmers grow. Pretty carrots, delectable, fresh, yummy, sweet. They're not like trying to bite a board. Of course, if you want board hard carrots, you can get that too. But there are a lot of vegetables that are far better and far better for you than this junk you're buying out of a grocery store. Not only that, they're putting nanoparticles on all this food to change the flavor, the texture, to make it last longer. And we got no idea what those nanoparticles are doing inside our cells. It's like throwing monkey wrenches inside the works of your cells, one after another, after another, after another, after another. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Of course, you know, some things want to throw proteins that have little things on them, like on top of the German World War I helmets, right? Just throw that into your cells. You know, that's good for you. That's what you need. More of that junk. What you get through devices such as this, right? You need that? Do you need that? No. Herbs. So, my friends, we need to change the way we live. There's far better ways to live. There's far better ways to produce. Okay, so it takes a lot of work to grow a garden. One thing, this may be one benefit to robotics. One day you can probably just have a little robot that'll go out there. It's kind of like a 3D printer with a little solar pack on the back, and it'll just run across your field and pick up the weeds and kill the little bugs directly and tend the plants. Tend them to water them. So maybe you won't have to do it all. If our society doesn't collapse. If it collapses, you got to do it. Now, mind you, they're the vase family, and what grew everything in raised bed gardens. No high tech to it all, but raised beds are far more productive than regular row crop gardens. Far more productive, far more vegetables. They were producing 7,000 pounds per year on 1/10 of an acre of food. 7,000 pounds. The average American eats 1,997 pounds. Americans eat too much of food per year. And a lot of that's based on grain. So there you go. You can do the math. You can actually get more produce out of that. So Jason Neighbors and I went through that. We talked about it in great detail, how to get and grow the full spectrum of nutrients that you need, proteins, starches, and everything else on 1/10 of an acre for a family of 4. It can be done. We don't have to do 1/10 of an acre though. And all the farms will probably never go away. They'll always find some utility to them, okay? But what I'm just telling you is this whole idea that we got too many people, that we can't solve these problems. It's got to be done this way, where the big industry is, where the big dollars are, big agri. No, that's got to go away, and it will go away. It cannot sustain itself. It will collapse at some point. If it takes 300 years, but it ain't going to take 300. Who believes it's going to take 300 years for all this to come crashing down for a lack of phosphate? Some say 50. How many do you expect you might still be alive 50 years from now? If I live as long as my dad, I will still be alive 50 years from now. That's nice. And then some. No, wait a minute. No, okay, I better back that off. I got 40. A little less than 40, all right. But, you know, guys, a lot of you will still be here 50 years from now. And I still might be, good Lord willing. It's possible. People live longer than that. 50 more years. Think about it. Could be less. But in 30 years, in 8 years, we're projected to hit the peak of phosphate. Just in 8 years. 8 years. And what's that mean? Prices. The prices are already going for many reasons. So what happens when this war blows over? We're in a Cold War with the East-West now. It's going to take a long time for that to thaw out, if trade's to resume. We should never have been relying on global trade in the first place. Globalism was a false promise. We can cover things ourselves. We can be totally self-resilient. Composting toilets. Putting everything back into the cycle where we're living at. Compost everything. Recycle. If you have to, use your toilets to make biogas, to run a few things. Okay? But, you know, no, don't eat directly from the compost that you're producing out of yourself, okay? Oh, yeah, by the way, do you realize no human pathogen can survive in the gut of a worm, earthworm? None. Zero. That's good to know. I won't say why. I won't make any extrapolations beyond it. Just an interesting thought. But anyway, so let me go through and read some more chat here. Daniel tweet. Yeah, pest. Yeah, so we can eliminate so much of this process. Just imagine, garden to mouth, garden to mouth. And you have to go through the kitchen. You know what? Fresh vegetables, living food is the best for you. Don't have to cook it, eat it raw, especially most vegetables. Now, some things you don't want to cook, but we don't have to do as much. There's so much we can change in how we live. Just imagine your house, because it's built with a lot of thermal mass and uses ground loops and a combination of little greenhouses to pull air from the ground to cool your house in the summer. Thermal mass keeps you warm in the winter, especially in conjunction with little greenhouses you got built up around it or in conjunction with it. And you're growing your food. And so you got a solar hot water heater. You're working from home because you're growing your food at home. You're not going to have to travel nearly as much. You really won't even need a vehicle. If you got a vehicle, it's just for fun. I would never say you can't have a vehicle, and I would never say you couldn't burn gasoline or diesel fuel if you so wanted. So all these people tell you, you got to do this, you got to live this way. No, no, I don't believe in that. I believe in freedom. But what I like to do is come up with a concept that's so great, so attractive that you wouldn't want anything else. This saves so much money. It's so smart. It's so sensical that you're going to not want anything else down the road. It will catch. It will metastasize because it's so good. That's the kind of concept of the universal habitat. That's where I'm trying to go with it. Or you can have all kind of derivatives of it, or combinations of hybrids. You can modify your own home and make it incorporate some of these precepts, some of these ideas. And society could move more and more to that over time. And nothing has to happen overnight. That's another fallacy. Nothing's got to happen overnight. But maybe having a composting toilet would be good. Mainly growing your own food, something you can start this year, is a great idea. Considering the possibilities of food shortages, considering the possibilities of prices, well, they're already going up. Why not grow your own food as much as you can? Greg, I don't have a garden. I don't have any land. Dude, I've shown you how I've grown food in my living room. Lots of it on a few shelves, the microgreens. Well, Greg, well, if it hits a fan, I got to have seeds. Well, dude, grow seed plants in a pot. Voila. That's how you do it. Plants make a lot of seeds. Amaranth. You ever seen how many seeds a full-grown amaranth plant makes? Ooh. So there's ways to do these things, guys. There's ways to take care of stuff. You can grow on your walls. You can grow on your windowsills, your patios. Yeah, just pots, storage containers. You can do aquaponics. Many, many, many ways, many different ideas, many systems, many approaches that you could take. All right. Good to see you, Terminator. You got somebody in the house called Terminator? Or you calling me Terminator? I'm not up to Terminator. Oh, there is somebody in there called the Terminator. He says, hi, everyone. Well, how you doing, Terminator? Legendary Bunny Man of Bradford. Could not find anything but high dollar chicken breast at Costco. Lots of leg and wings for cheap. Okay. Let's see. Some neighbors have chickens. We need to all start teaming up with like-minded neighbors. Maybe you can make more of your neighbors like-minded, but you can't convince them all now. Just go ahead and buy some hose and some seeds and have them ready. Go to the flea market. Get them cheap. Do what I do. You think, Greg, you're being stupid. You're going to the flea market all the time. You're wasting time. It's a stupid, slow video. Some of the preppers say, why are you doing this? Well, I don't want to watch this junk. Well, maybe you should watch, because I've showed you what kind of hose to buy and why they're important. Why you don't want to buy just any kind of hoe. You need a good, sturdy hoe. Every man needs a good, sturdy hoe. Keep saying that for your garden so that the head don't break off. I'm being practical. Okay. Elon is my kind of oligarch. Behind the notes here, Undercover Prodigy. Seen an article last fall where DC was buying X number of acres of farmers' crops. Yeah, we don't need the global stuff there, the Terminator. John in the Spirit, grouse are protected, at least in my area. Well, that may be a good part of it. Yeah. Global famine, I'm expecting. So, GG Soylent Green. And what year was the movie Soylent Green based in? 2022. This is the year the movie Solient green was basing. And guess what? This is the year. Is it programmed? Is this, what is this? Makes you wonder. Just wondering. Nothing to see here. You know, hey, this is just just pondering. Just pondering. 2022. Interesting. Nah, it's nothing. It's nothing. Makes you wonder. Let's see. I imagine it's PCR flu, not actual bird flu. Oh, that's one of the problems with raising fowl. You got to worry about Boyd flu. For Melanie, I think Greg mentioned a dehumidifier a while back. I have to learn more about, but Santa Rosa isn't very humid. Okay. Yeah, if you live in a humid place and you're growing microgreens, you need a dehumidifier. You can make water from air with a dehumidifier. If you're living in a dry climate, you might want to humidify. If you're growing mushrooms, you need a humidifier. So I got a trailer I'm growing microgreens in. I'm building a building to grow mushrooms. And oh, I got my windows installed in my mushroom building today. So we are making progress. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Big hugs to you. All right. Hey there, status brother. Good to see you again, says Paul. That's somebody house name Status. There it is, Status Quo. All right, Status Quo, how's it go? Let's see. Now I need to talk with Wiseau. We need to start setting some plans. Wiseau, you know, maybe you would be good to have do an interview with. I'm trying to get a little bit more into prepping for a little bit because, you know, I've covered so much of this stuff that scares people's, you know, the toenails jump off their feet that get scared. Some of the things we've been talking about. And yeah, the world hasn't gotten any better this week, my friends. It's not got one bit better, it's gotten worse. And I got some topic area I need to go into on that. I might go into that tomorrow night if I can find the time. I enjoy all material great. Well, thank you, CR user. You'll never fear mongering, Gigi. Well, thank you, Paul. I always try to bring hope. I always try. Look, if you don't see the dangers in the world, you're a fool. You're just a darn fool if you don't see the dangers that's out there in the world. I don't mean you got to go panicking and chew your fingernails off. Unless, as one of the guys said, you know, hey, you can live 2 weeks off. Yeah, it was Zen Jamin said, you can live 2 weeks off your fingernails. I guess that includes your hair. It's made of the same protein, right? Hey, there you go. I got some protein. This is my reserve bank. Ain't got much in the way of fingernails though. Maybe my toenails. Not. Oh, you just take your tweezers and pull them out. I'm kidding. That would take some desperation. Plus, it could leave you susceptible to infections, which could do you in. Don't do that. Do not remove your fingernails with tweezers in a grid down situation. Stay positive, says Tim Sweet. Yes. So I always try to bring solutions. And if you notice, I laugh and cut up because I'm not scared. So if I'm trying to fearmonger, I'm doing a terrible job of it, right? Why am I not scared? Because I'm prepared. I said, don't be scared, be prepared. I'm as prepared as I can be. Does that mean I've covered everything? No, nobody can cover everything. But, you know, I'm resting in the solace that at least I'm trying. I am 62 years old. You know, you hear a Canadian prepper, he gives some good advice. He tells you that you need to be fit. You need to be in good shape. You need to be running and jogging and climbing mountains. I used to do those things. I used to run 12 miles every other day. But it kind of messed my foot up. I got plantar fasciitis. I started riding a bike 20 miles every other day. Then I messed my knee up. There are consequences to some of this. So, well, maybe I pushed it too far. And that's just the way I am. I go for the nth degree. But so what happened? Well, I started gardening and got fat. So I don't have quite the stamina that I used to have in terms of, you know, jogging 12 miles every other day. But my friends, I tell you what, I can still take care of myself. And yeah, I got pictures of my older self. So I used to be a skinny man. That was me in that old cabin I built when I was a kid. I'm in the center there with my son when I was in the Army. Many years later, when I got out of the Army, was running. Oh yeah, this is when I was still in the Army. Here, in a Viking boat. Focus. Yeah, come on, focus. There we are. I got one leg out and I'm wearing some boots. I'm about to jump out. And here I'm the. Oh yeah. Also, that was when I was at Fort Bragg. When I was at Fort Greeley in the Army up there. There's my big fat self, right with Gerard Killen. I'm the young guy there. So I was a skinny guy. Here I am years later, but still years ago. When I was had already turned over the presidency of the Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society to another guy. The other guy's the big guy. I'm the skinny guy in this picture. Come on, focus. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. You don't want to focus this time. Well, anyway. Get it focus. I ain't gonna focus on this. There it is. There it is. Whoop. That's me behind the projector. See? I used to run, jog, climb, hike. I love hiking. I love camping out. I love getting up in the mountains. So that was me all those years. But I'm 62 now, and it's a little harder to do some of that stuff. I still get out and work. I can still shovel a load of manure off of the back of a truck faster than a 20-year-old. I outwork the kids all the time. So yeah, I still got strength. I still got a lot of residual strength because of all the work I did for so many years. You know, still it's paid off. But I got a bad knee. So there are still things that I got to watch out for. Oh, what happened here? Lost some. So, hey, Jason is in the house. Green Country Agroforestry. Yes, today I planted yard-long beans, Swiss chard, pak choi, I don't know what that kind of squash is, Jason, and the amaranth, the peas that I planted up last week are up. Jason is in the house. He's one of my favorites, guys. Check him out. He's smart guy. He is brilliant. Jason is in the house. I'm thrilled. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go scroll. I just lost a bunch of chat here. Oh yeah, he's talking a bunch in here. Very good. Guys, you got to check out Green Country Agroforestry. Check it out, folks. Go there. Subscribe. Bang the update notification bell and click all. If you've not been on Jason's channel, go there. He's got a lot of good content. He teaches you good practical stuff, and he's a really good all-around guy. He is just he's a smart guy. He's not assuming. He doesn't have, you know, even though he's smart as a whip, you know, he's very down to earth. So let's see. Wow, I have missed a lot of chat. I'm trying to scroll back up here. I accidentally hit it and it went poof way up. Now I'm trying to get back up close to the top to see what all I missed. I don't know if I'm gonna get through all this. There's so much here. Stay positive. I saw that. Wise Al. I love solutions. Always have 3 at any given time for everything. I see Wise Al is wise. Very wise. Very wise. All right, Jason, hang on because hey, Jason, I loved your video about growing on top of septic fills. So we got 47 million acres of lawns in North America. We could feed 1.88 billion people off our lawns alone. But some of that is in septic fills, so that's important to know. Connie, learn something new here every day. All right, very good, Connie. John the Spirit, yeah, I figure next week will be a swine. Oh yeah, they might take out the swine and the beef. See, that's, you got to wonder about these things, guys. Our food supplies are such challenges, and you know, yeah, what's really going on? What is really going on? Hey, we got Arnold Schmidt in the house. He says 55 is my chicken number. Sorry for being so late. Well, hey, Arnold, that's very good. You may want to go back. People just joining will want to replay the beginning of this video because I'm talking about the agricultural situation, where we're at, the shortages, the shortages, particularly in phosphate. Phosphate is a mineral mine. So is potash to some degree, but potash we can get through burning stuff. Phosphate is the one that we're shortest on. But we could, hey, we can probably get a lot out of seawater directly one day, like a lot of other stuff. But we're flushing everything down the toilet, and there's no sense in this, guys. No sense in it. Chew weather. I make my own nug dust. Very good, Chewy. Arnold, Wise Al. Let's see. Chewy weather. I've blown up stumps with chicken poo and diesel. There you go, Chewy. I like that. CR user. I did it for 2 years. I learned a lot. Love hawks, owls, and have golden eagles on Mount Diablo. Interesting. The opossums, not so much. They were all right. Oh, possums. We call them possums around here. Oh, let's see. Legendary bunny man. Every 3,000 years, Mother Nature shakes us off in a bad case of fleas. Oh, cyclical. Yeah, that's 4 cycles per every 12,000 years. Such is what lots of people think. Madam Gross. I like them. All right, this is a family channel. Be careful, Madam. Oh, we're talking about yard birds. Okay, sorry. Yeah, hi Jesse, how you doing? Northeast Arizona. Beavers and raccoons are the most ornery. Yeah, they are. Save your burn pile, barbecue height ashes for supplement potassium and pulverize the charcoal to add to your soil, folks. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Says quote Bob White. Hey, we got Bob White in the house. Are you for sale? Who, me? Worms. Hey, Bob White, a bird wants worms, right? Worms for sale, Greg. Late June. That's how Bob White sound, right? Bob White. We used to have wild Bob White coveys all over the countryside around here, but the coyotes wiped them out, unfortunately. Oh. All right. Yeah, green country. Woohoo, this is my kind of topic. Exactly. I was talking about you before you even got in the room here. Let's see here. Legendary bunny man Bradford did some digging in the compost and found some big night crawlers at the bottom. Very nice. Undercover prodigy. They have definitely deliberately targeted the water supply. But you want to say, well, water filters. I got a video how to purify and separate topic, sanitize water. I'm going to do both. All right, one and the same, Mr. Dave Hodges. Look at the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. They neither sow nor reap, and yet they are all taken care of through the natural systems. And that comes out from the mouth of the Lord Jesus Christ. More or less. You modified it a little bit, but yeah, more or less. So think about that, guys. But that's just a good observation, and it's so true. That's why I got videos of eating the wild edibles, wild medicinals. Guys, I've done enough videos, at least in my area here. If you watch the videos I've done, you'll never go hungry. Any time of the year, you should be able to find enough to eat. Now, if we have a nuclear winter, a volcanic winter, or asteroid impact winter, then you better hope you've saved up some food. If you're going to garden, can all you can, but most of your cans in glass jars. So that's why I do promote the food that you can get at prepwithgreg.com, because it lasts a long time and it's in those buckets that you can bury and not have to worry about them. And that's good if they come around looking for your stuff. Well, I got nothing here. Well, because it's all buried out in the lawn underneath another garden. So you just have to tell them that they dig underneath the garden and they might find buckets down very deep underneath, right? But you harvest what's on top, and then it's down below. Of course, if you got a nuclear winter, and just say, what they wouldn't know. Just hide the stuff. Throw leaves over it. It's a compost pile. Let's see. Chew weather. I have cousins who haul wheat. They say you can see the stuff running out of the bins at the base of the silos. Okay. Run out. Yeah. Leon Henry. My dad worked at a soy plant in central Illinois, 70s and 80s. The protein products department as a supervisor. We ate a lot of their experiments, roasted, and even made coffee. Yes, lots of chemicals involved. Ooh, Leon. Oh, Lord, man. That don't even sound good. Ricketts. Hi, everyone. Love garden talk. Brian Printy. Yes, green country agroforestry. See, the whole idea, agroforestry, that's permaculture. But permaculture, growing as much as you can in a food forest. The beauty of a food forest is you're not having to run tractors back and forth all the time to plant it and harvest it, because it just keeps producing. And it pulls from the deep down in the roots, deep down in the soil, and brings up those micronutrients that's not available from NPK fertilizers. Stuff that will keep your heart more steady, so you don't have to eat tree nuts all the time to keep your heart from going boom, 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 like a magnesium, as I am so often to do. Or bananas. Banana. Which are all good to eat. All tree fruits and vegetables. Not vegetables, tree fruits and nuts are good to eat. Do we have tree vegetables? I have to think about that one. I'm planting most of my garden in containers in case I need to bug out of here. Well, that's smart, Chewy. You can do that. Have a portable container garden. Nothing wrong with that. We ain't got no super chats tonight. We've been going to topics we're covering. 40 going west, processed, bad for you. Amen. Processed means to add trans fats to it. It's mostly corn oil and all kind of nasty stuff. Chemicals, and nanoparticles. Nanotechnology particles are getting added to all this stuff. Yeah. This is why you need to grow your own food. And if you can't grow your own food, at least buy from local farmers as much as you can. I'm sure you're not going to, even if you are growing your food, you're not going to be growing everything you eat, probably. You want some variety, so you can trade with them, buy from them. Spend your dollars locally. Your dollars or whatever you're going to be using for money. Spend it locally. Support your local farmers, your local artisans, your local tradesmen. It keeps things from having to be shipped so far. And it's very hard on that little thing called globalism, which we don't even know that. We don't need no stinking Schwab. Heck no. You know what? All these people, there's nothing we can do about it. They're going to take us. Guys, they're only in power as much as you buy their products. Boycott them. Don't buy their junk. You don't know who to boycott? Go to their website and find out who all the companies that sponsor them. It's all listed there. Okay, well, this and this and this and this and this. I'm not having any of that. That's all you got to do. Enough of us do that. They're going to be hurting big time. So, Greg, Colonel Schwartz, I see nothing. I know nothing. Colonel Schultz, right? Colonel Schultz, I see nothing. I know nothing. Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. That's right. I know nothing. Sergeant Schultz is his name. It was Colonel Klink and Sergeant Schwartz. And there was that song, I hate you, Herman Schwartz. Hope the bed bugs bite your shorts. Anybody remember that song? Let's see, Arnold, my phone just jumped the battery from 90 to 1%. Oh, my Lord. Most here are turning from lawns into rocks, cactus gardens. Well, that beats growing grass. Squash grows great in a hydroponic system. That's true. And so does cucumbers. Oh, the cucumbers and tomatoes love hydroponics. I've even grown okra in my outdoors hydroponic system here. Sure enough, it didn't grow as tall, but maybe because I transplanted, but still make fruits. And since my aquaponic system was right south around anyway, I'm happy it didn't grow any taller. 0 degrees C here in western Alberta, windy too. So you're at freezing. Wow, Arnold. Old as dirt, medicinal plants, and a good book showing when and how much to use. Books. Bingo. Buy books. When the grid goes down, you're going to need books. I mean, it's good to watch videos so you can get some idea of watching somebody doing something physically, visually. That part's a little bit hard to get out of the book, but guess what? That book is going to last. Books. I wouldn't have any stinking books now, would I? And I got a bookshelf over there. I got a bookshelf upstairs. I got books all over the place. I got big cases. You ever see these cases I got here? They're all full of magazines. Tons of books, magazines. We eat too much. I do. Especially considering I don't have we're still accustomed to the traditions of eating things the way our ancestors used to work. And our ancestors needed about 4,000 calories a day. We probably only need about 1,800, but we tend to eat around 2,000 or more. So even when we're dieting, we're still eating too much usually, especially in our more sedentary lifestyles. But if the grid hits the fan, the grid hits the fan. If the jizzy hits the fizzy, and then that's the way he says it, it's Canadian prepper. When the BS hits the road, when the Bravo Sierra hits the rotary impeller, we're going to be working hard. We're all going to be, when the Bravo Sierra hits the rotary impeller, you're going to be one hard working impeller. Now we got it. Let's see here. My medicinal plants are grow in cocoa core. Yeah, it's one way to do it, but you might not be able to get cocoa core when it goes down. But if you got worms can produce your own worm castings, you'll be set. I hope to be selling worms again, maybe in June. You know what? One of my hard hands, I had all these totes I put wood chips in. Worms have been processing for like 2 years. They turn those wood chips into beautiful broken down compost ready to run through the trauma. My hired hand got the bright idea and went and threw fresh wood chips and all of them. It's like, are you kidding me? I can't run that now. I won't be able to run it for months. I might have a problem with that. That may throw me back. So, oh my gosh, no. These are the fresh wood chips and the ones that have been composted down. I can't run them now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's why I went and bought horse manure, was so I would be able to have stuff I could run fast. But a lot of the beds I was counting on being able to run, I ain't gonna be able to run for a while. That's the problem. I can't be out there watching them. I'm sitting here 9 to 10 hours a day doing my day job. And that's why I can't be out there all the time. So I need, it's hard to oversee everything. When they come up with a bright idea like pouring chlorine water in aquaponic system repeatedly, killing everything over and over. When you've got dechlorinators out there and you're making, we dechlorinate our water so that the chlorine won't kill everything, and then they just don't go through it, don't register, and they go out and do it. Oh, I was trying to help. You just killed everything. You destroyed my system. That's why I got a well now. All right, green country agroforestry. 1, plant your perennials first. 2, grow annuals while the perennials grow to full production. You may never completely rely on perennials, but they will eventually make up most of your crop. There you go. Wise Al, I watched a vid about using sand to start seeds. I'll try it. You can reuse sand over and over and replant. Yeah, it just as a medium. Why not? You can probably trickle aquaponics water through sand. Why not? Yeah. Problem is the sand. You need like a paper filter or something. Keep the sand from going through. Maybe you'd have some kind of a float system where it settles down and the water floats back up on the other side. Yeah, it is. That'd be a way to do it. Think about it. Let's see. It's not looking good, GG, says Paul. No, Madam Gross, I'll probably be gone at 50. Least I live to be 120. Well, let's have hope. There are people that made 120. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be 110. If I made it to 50 more years, I'd be 112. That's a good thing to aim for. Hey, I'm planning to drive a Betsy Blue in the nation's tricentennial parade. That truck will be 100 years old now. If I can do that, I'll have to be 116. So when I'm 116, I plan to still be driving stick shifts. Gas guzzling stick shift. 100 years from now. AFC probably won't be happy with that. Let's see. Global trade is nice, but yes, it is foolish to become dependent on it for survival. Amen. Yeah, it's nice, but we got so much of it. We're so dependent on it. It is an issue. And then when the politics get in the way, bang. We had really hoped that through all the interdependence of all the different countries, that they would think, wow, we can't go to war with them. We need them for this, that, and the other, and we need them to sell our stuff too. And we're so dependent. How in the world could we have a war? I once, thought that was the answer for global peace. It didn't work out, did it? That's also what people were thinking prior to World War I. But the countries were so interdependent that no way there would be a war. No way. It won't happen because, and some people were saying the same thing before World War II. And in those days, they weren't nearly as interdependent as we are today. But look how fast we're dividing the sheets and splitting hickory nuts. Really fast. So the nations are tearing apart, east and west, right now. Well, it's a shame. It's a shame that these things have come to pass. There's good people in every country, in every hamlet, city, shire, oblast, county, state, in the world. Bad people where you go to, but there's a lot of good people. A lot of a lot of us get deluded in all the countries by all the different propaganda that's floating around in the air. Tons of propaganda, all especially war. Even without warfare, there's tons of propaganda. But in a war situation, it just gets amped up like crazy. So much propaganda out there. Almost everything you hear is propaganda. Almost everything you hear coming from either side is propaganda. And no country is nice and wonderful. They're all bad. Okay? So if you want to know where I'm coming from, and Greg, you're not, these guys are good. Nah, they're all bad. First in the nation level. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I don't think we should have any government larger than a county. And a county is a pretty darn big government. Anyway. Maybe we need, maybe we shouldn't have any more a government any bigger than the block we live on. And if you're out in the country, that means you're the only government. So there we go. Right, the sensible idea being so good, there is no need to use force. There's no need to force. Exactly. Bingo. Yes, thank you, Jason. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's create ideas that are so great, so wonderful. There's no, so many people, you got to do this. Let's force you into this. No, let's create ideas that are so wonderful. People want nothing else. We can do that. We can make a beautiful future and be totally self-sustainable and be independent and have freedom. Why don't you hear that? We got all these problems. In the Salvador, you got to accept our solutions. Our solutions are the only way to fix it. So you got to belong to me. That kind of crap. That's where they come. That's Charles Schwab for you. Charles Schwab. Excuse me. No, I got the wrong Schwab. That was the investment guy. Sorry. Klaus, not Charles. Maybe they're related. I don't know. Okay, well, everybody listen to Charles Schwab, right? So have we got to listen to Klaus? Yep. We don't need a Klaus in the house, and at least not of the Schwab type. I got some friends by the name of Klaus. Okay, good guys, by the way. They weren't him. Yeah, they were German. All right. Let's see. Chew whether if you are in colder areas, you can still be planting beets and radishes early. That's right. That's right. Started 2 years ago, but should have started earlier. Well, anytime beats no time. you hadn't done it before, start now. Teaching in public schools. Amen, CR, in all schools. I use grocery store fabric bags for grow bags. Okay. Sounds good, Chewy. Work great for potatoes. 89 on another device. Oh, you're watching on 2 devices. Thank you there, Arnold. So we got 92 in the room right now, according to this. I don't know if it's, let me go in here and refresh from this other screen, see what it shows us. Well, it says 92 also. I got the same stats on my main computers I'm getting on the laptop. No relation, according to Jason Smith. Okay, I see. That's good to know. Good to know. Good to grow. All right. Arnold, well, look at that. The device shows the timestamp. Okay. Madam Gross, buy seeds in December. Yeah, that's really the best time to buy. If you haven't bought your seeds, you should have had them already. If you're not bought them, get them. Get them now. Check out my links. All my videos that I upload, I have a link on to True Leaf Market, at least all the ones I've uploaded in the last couple of years. Rocket Man, has Nathan Canadian Prepper contacted you yet? No. Have you contacted him? Have you asked him to? I've not heard from him. Not heard from him. I can check my email. So if you sent me anything today, did you give him, if you contact him, give him my email, greg@greengregs.com. He can email me there, greg@powergriddefense.org. What in the world? Yeah, everybody, don't share that email with everybody everywhere. Yikes, I need to see, what was there? There was a whole bunch of email on there. Holy walking smoking moly, what was that? I'll go back there and look again. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Nothing to see there. Oh, UPS. Go back again. I'll get something getting shipped to me. I ordered microgreen seeds and much of other stuff. Package shipped. It's on the way. That's probably the microgreen seeds I ordered not before last. And yeah, I'm getting a new banner. I'll have a new banner for my farmers market booth. The farmers market here locally starts Saturday. I'm not going to be at the Saturday one though, because I'm going to go to the NARPNet one more time. That's our local prepping group. After that, I'm probably just going to the farmers market for the rest of the Saturdays. I got a couple of things to get ready before I go to the farmers market. Sorry, Greg, I am having a panic attack just thinking about it. I have a camera phobia. Oh, you don't want to be on camera. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. But we do need to talk about some tribe stuff and some Freedom Restoration Foundation stuff. So you and I do need to talk really soon. North Alabama Hiking's in the house. How you doing? Hey, Gorgeous Awesome's in the house. Gorgeous, where have you been? We've been worried about you. Holy walking smoking moly, Gorgeous. We've all been asking, where's Gorgeous? Where's Gorgeous Awesome? We have all been worried about Gorgeous Awesome. Oh my gosh, you're here. Yodel lady. Come in here, yodeling. Beautiful. Yodel little lady. Yodel little lady. Whoop, bada lady yodel yodel he. Bada lady yodel yodel he. How about that? All right. We have Gorgeous Awesome in the house, and I am so thrilled. Cha-Cha's in the house. Oh, shoot. I just skipped down a zillion messages. What happened? I just skipped a zillion messages here. All right. Now I'm lost. I got to scroll back to where I was at. Skip too far up. I got to find back where I was at. Let me scroll some more. Gorgeous Awesome. Gorgeous, listen, Gorgeous Awesome to having a tough time. Gorgeous, please go ahead and post your store link for your Etsy store. I know you've been having a tough time lately. So I hope things are going well for you. And by the way, just to show y'all some of the handiwork of Gorgeous Awesome. Let me just over my hat. Yeah. Lemurian laser crystal. And here it is. I'll fly it across like Scott Manley does the spaceships. There's Scott Manley. He's got a space channel. He does that with little rockets in his videos. And then we got that's beautiful copper work. And I got a worm. Here. Check out my beautiful worm. Gorgeous Awesome. It's a redworm. That's what I raise. Of course, it's a redworm made out of copper. My other little copper. I've got my other little crystal here. My healing one. Where's it? There it is. Thanks. Here it is. It's called a healing wand. This is a wand to heal you. And then I got the really big one. Wand is Woden's wooden wand of wonders. Which got Gorgeous Awesome. Look at all that copper work they put in here. Shungite crystal made from a Russian meteorite. And though that's not a bone, this is apple wood. And they said it's an apple for the teacher. We got gorgeous. We got Cha-Cha in the house. Hope Cha-Cha is doing well. So anyway, glad to see some people I hadn't seen in a while. Gorgeous, we were really getting worried about you because we hadn't heard from you in so long. I mean, we are family. We worry about our family here. This is a family channel. We are a family. We worry about our family. Did we get to see Leanne again soon? Well, at the farmer's market, yeah. I saw her today. She came here and took care of microgreens. She's growing the microgreens with me here. And we'll be growing mushrooms, hopefully in the not too distant future also. Oh, yeah. So let me see here. Oh, I'm still way up in the messages. Let me scroll down here. I get Chinese investors are buying up our arable land. Yeah, that's scary. Paul Smith, you haven't changed, GG. Well, if y'all heard my videos where I was talking at the 93 ISDC, I'm talking the same kind of stuff then as I am today. So yeah, let's see, 66 years and still surfing in San Diego region. There you go, status quo. That sounds great. Ryan says, we like you the way you are. Undercover project shovel don't fit well in many people's hands. That's hard work. So true. Green country agroforest, constantly learning. Amen. We all get to keep learning. You go, Greg, says Melanie Lyons. Thank you. Monique Pearl, undercover project, talking about undercover project. I'm at greenhouses. Long neck zucchini squashes. Oh, okay. Trombacino. That's it, right? Trombacino. Trombacino. How do you say it? Trombacino. 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 I start looking at a voice and switch it there. Trombacino. Again, start out one way and get kind of nasal. All right, I drew Trombacino. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Tez, love your takes. And Ice Age Farmer. Well, thank you, Tez. Tez EU, how you say that? All right, Mannerman. I've got two varieties of Trombacino. Okay. One pepita squash. The other is an edible gourd family from Italy. Well, that sounds like an Italian name. All right. Let's see. Bear Lake, Utah. ID froze for the first time in 6 years this winter. Just starting to break up last day. Okay, gorgeous. Good to know that. So you're still in Utah. Melanie, radish will protect squash. It works. Oh, okay. You know, I planted squash in my radish beds. I've done that. Clover is great stuff. Feeds the bees, builds the soil. There you go. It does. And you can eat it, most of them. Most clovers you can eat. We still got Bob Whites. Delicious with garlic and butter. There you go. What's not? With garlic and butter. Even snails, right? All right, so yeah, we don't have any around here. Coyotes took them all out. We used to have a lot of them. Red Tennessee quails wild here. Okay, madam. Yeah, I used to when I'd walk out in the fields, you know, you walk up on a covey of quails, they'd all be hidden. When you got close to them, they'd just go boom, they'd explode in the air all at once. And it'd startle you. It was always amazing, but those days are gone. Oh, walnuts. Oh, shaggy bark, hickory nuts, chestnuts, and walnuts. Okay there, Judy. Yeah, we used to have some good shaggy bark hickory trees in the woods I used to grow up in. And they logged all that out, though, unfortunately. Greg, the question is, why would you grow okra? Or especially eat it? Oh, come on, Jesse. Oh my gosh, okra's divine. I love okra. Boiled, fried. You know, I could fix okra as many ways as Bubba Gump could fix shrimp. Oh, I love okra. You know, okra is actually kin to cotton. Okra is closely related to cotton. It needs some hot weather. Red okra seeds. Okay, but can you grow okra, Judy? Apparently, how? You hired hand stories. What? I'm talking about Melanie. You hired hand stories. Geez, sounds like saboteurs. Hand stories. What? Saboteurs. You talking about me trying to hire people to help shovel horse manure? What are we talking about? Or the ones, the hired hands that no, they just didn't know. They just, a lot of times people think they're doing something good and they mess up. You know, I can't micromanage the farm, unfortunately, when I got a big day job. That's the downside of trying to have something like I'm doing. Good people in every nation, but every nation is run by bad ones. Exactly there. That's the problem with countries. They play us against each other. Governments are conspiracy factories. There you go, into space. Propagation of ENDA. Propaganda, propagation of ENDA. Okay. Right. This nation is run by the good ones, really. I don't think everybody's great and wonderful upstairs. They say it floats, you know. It's kind of what I think. It floats. All right, Scooby and Snacks. Halo, I'm in the background tonight. Well, good to see you, Scooby. And now Cha-Cha's in the house. And the notes I'm getting to. The gardener told me some plants move, but I cannot believe it. Well, yeah, they do. They grow, they move around. Yeah, and they actually will follow sunlight, light. So they're dancing. Charles Schwab needs a rehab. Brian, you hit on something there. I need to send him to rehab. We need some reset. We need a reset rehab. That's it. If you believe in reset, you need to go to rehab. Mother Earth, says Cha-Cha. Mother Earth News. Want my picture on the cover of Mother Earth News. Mother Earth News. 4 copies from Mother Earth News. There we go. Used to advertise in Mother Earth News. Tez, LOL. I call it Okry. There you go, Nippy. Okry. That's what we call it down here. Okry. Exactly. Cha-Cha, Nippy, LOL. Stumpy Nubs. I have aquaponic system in my basement. Well, very good. Bob White. Never acquired a taste for okra. Well, I'm sorry. Everybody can't be one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. I'm just like my daddy's son. I know just who I am. Sorry about that. I'm hitting some bars from some songs from that. Anybody knows what song that's from? If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. That's Hank Williams Jr. Let's see. Where do I say? I can't listen to politicians anymore. There you go, cha-cha. Stubby Nubs. I raise koi and ghost shrimp right now. That sounds good. Bob White's going, yeah. Stubby Nub says, I'm a vegetarian. That's why the choice of fish. Okay. F. Webb, I love fried okra. Amen to that. Nippy says, sing it, Greg. All right. Yes, yes. Love your name, Cha Cha. That's a good name. Let's see. Arnold. We need, Arnold says, we need the righteous to stand up to these fools. Only then will peace re-enter the land. Amen. There's too many fools running this world today. Let's see. Flipping Nickel Productions. Hello, Greg. Good to see you, Flipping Nickel. Scooby Snacks. Countries are always run by the first syllable. Very good. Hey, is Gorgeous Awesome still in the house? I hope they didn't run out because I didn't see them post their Etsy store. Maybe they were gone before I even showed her jewelry. I don't know. Hope they saw all that. Are you still in the house, Gorgeous? Are you still in the house? They might not even heard me talk about them because I was so late getting to those notes. I also raised rabbits for soil amendments, utilizing their poop. Hey, I raise rabbits to feed my worms. And Jason says, I am getting 27-gallon tubs ready for shrimp breeding. Thinking about growing Necocardinias. What is that? Along with water chestnuts. Okay. Pickled okra is good. Amen, cha-cha. I like pickled okra. I like fried okra. I like boiled okra. Like I said, I could probably talk about okra the way Bubba Gump talks about shrimp. Greg, I may have missed it, but what do you think about the Texas situation? Which situation in Texas? Are we talking about the power or something that just happened? Fried okra, stubby nuts. That's awesome at Green Country. I'm seriously contemplating raising prawns. Yeah, I thought about that. What's going on in Texas that you want me to contemplate here and talk to? The power grid is not what it ought to be. There's those that work. There's some folks working on it. You know, Austin is trying to go independent on the grid, and I do have some kids and grandkids in Texas right now. So yeah, I got half of my descendants live in Texas, by the way. So yeah, Texas is dear to me. Half of my descendants are living in Texas. Green Country Agroforestry prawn farm is pretty cool. I have space for it. Well, there you go. Abbott is about to bust illegals to DC. Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, Bob White, that's hilarious. DC, here you go. You want them, you got them. Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. If they ain't got a grand old Opry like they do in Tennessee, just send me to hell or New York City. It'd be about the same to me. I was one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. I'm just like my daddy, son. I'm proud of who I am. T-storms east of Greg's Place, South Carolina, North Carolina. Yeah, we've been pretty cool here today. We had little showers. We had a little rain yesterday. Nothing serious at all. All the storms have gone around us. Whoa, big crystal. Y'all like my singing? Traveler Governor has hands on deck at border. It's about time. Well, you know, a lot of people are saying he was ignoring certain communities, so maybe he's waking up. Governor, let's see, flipping the Abbott sign an executive order to do it. Okay. Well, you know what? Texas ought to. Yeah, what do y'all think about Texas? Texas. What do y'all think about Texas? First, tell me what you think. What do y'all think about Texas? Yes or no? Brian, I can't even gather to understand you, but I'm a beloved American. I'm a fan. There you go, Brian. Yeah, I don't expect you to understand the Hank Williams Jr. song. I'm going to hire a wino to decorate your home. Uh-oh. Wino, what you want to do? I know. Now, how's that song go? I forget. That was part of some of the songs used to be on the Leonard Skinner album. Big tree fell on my yard from the windstorm. Oh no, Cha-Cha, that girl. Hey, that girl. Greg, get your butt to Texas. Well, I got an Arizona property I need to get to. That sounds cool. Yeah, half my descendants are in Texas, so yeah, I got to be going through there. 300 million illegals already here. Wow, just imagine if they all went to DC. Let's see. I hope you're okay, Cha-Cha. You said a tree. Did a tree hit your house, Cha-Cha? What happened with that tree? Go back. The tree fell on your yard. Okay, good. It's not on your house. Man, I got to get my roof redone. I had a tree hit it a little while back. Y'all remember, I still haven't got the roof redone yet. I got Rachel Colvard, 132. Well, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate you telling us what number and giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Anyways, Texas was much nicer without the California. I'm going to say it that way. Yep. I hear that. Madam in Texas, if they succeed and form the Republic of Texas, I got to move. Is that in or out, Madam? So, yeah. I love living in the country in South Central Texas. Oh, still, you're there. Okay. No, just a pocketbook. Just got to get clean. Yeah, it will cost you some money. All right. So, how you say it? Crickles. Okay, Crickles. My rescue kittens came from Alabama. Now I have a connection. Okay, very good. Rescue kittens. Texas, I only say that was smart if they secede from the U.S. anytime they want. Well, they tried it in 1860s and didn't work out for them then so well. But yeah, hey, you know what? Any state's got the right. No country's got the right of holding somebody that don't want to be in them. You know, that's why I believe in that. Texas is too liberal. I'll move to Florida to grow oranges. All right. Indie Space, a session for success. There you go. Texas is the only Bible welcome state left. Now, wait a minute. We do have a Bible Belt, and Texas isn't the only state in the Bible Belt now. I know I live in one. Got family there, so move there. Okay, madam. Well, I do have family there, but I got family here too. Half my descendants live in Alabama, and half my descendants live in Texas. Although one of my Alabama descendants is likely to move on to somewhere else. Actually, my son is contemplating moving to Tennessee, and my daughter wants to go to the big cities. That scares me. My youngest daughter. Living here and observing, only a third of California is sane. There you go. I'm a proud Minnesotan, says Brian. There you go. So, what's that song from the Doors? How's the words go with that? Let me think. Shoot, I can't quite get it. Yeah, it's a Doors song. That makes me think about, oh, well, whatever. All right. Well, yeah, I think Gorgeous Austin, they probably left the room before I even mentioned them. That's too sad. That's too sad. I was hoping they'd stay. I'm going to chat with them. All right. Jason, let's do an interview. Let's you and I do an interview soon. We had a lot of fun when we did what we talked about people living off a tenth of an acre. That was a lot of fun. So if we can do another interview, that'd be great. Everybody needs to go to Green Country Agroforestry with Jason. Green Country Agroforestry. He said, about half my cousins live in Southern Oklahoma. Some call it Texas. That's funny. Arnold Smith. I can't even step outside sometimes. Cheaper to stay inside because it used to be $20 to go somewhere. Now it's $100. Ooh, that gas is insane, guys. Yeah, I put $40 in Vanna White today, and it's about this filled up by halfway. It's nuts. Yeah, been doing a little work on the Vanna White. We got her running. Betsy Blue's running. I got my Cherry van running. And Moby Dick's the next one to work on. Eric Cord, how you doing? Hey, little buddy. Let's see, Brian. Yeah, they say he turns off that Article 42. They will flood in bad news. Alrighty, guys, we've been going a little while tonight. It's not super late like normal, but I think maybe we'll call it a night early. What do y'all think? Before we do that, we should probably take the prayer request. Maybe I can show y'all some other things first. Hope I still got your email, Jason. I definitely would like to get with you again if we could do it. Everybody go check out Jason's channel. Subscribe, bang the open notification bell, and click all. Go to Jason Avery's channel. His channel is Green Country Agroforestry. The man is super intelligent and super informative, and he's a lot of fun. He's just a good all-around guy. Where's Granny? She was in the chat last time. Granny's been having some health problems. I don't know. Was Granny here tonight? No, I hadn't seen her yet. There he is. Green Greg's, I'll shoot you an email to set up a day and time for a Zoom meeting sometime in the morning. Got to get your beauty sleep. Hey, I resemble that remark. That's my problem. I don't get enough beauty sleep. Greg, Texas, 1800s. Texas left Mexico. Yeah, they left Mexico. They got away with that. But then when he tried to leave the United States, and, a few decades later, it didn't work out so well. But that's a whole nother story. But you know what? I think today, if we have secession, any state that secedes, we'll probably get away, especially if it's a big state like Texas. Nice metalwork, gorgeous, awesome. It was. But are they still in the house? I think they're gone. I don't see them anymore. They do great work. And they're a nice couple. They're just a nice young couple. All right. Crickle says good night, everyone. Okay. I was going to show some other stuff, but we'll save it for Friday night. Bear in mind, guys, the sun has opened the crack up, and that crack is 12,000 miles deep. A canyon on the sun. Just a scratch on the surface of the sun, which is 1.5 times deeper than Earth is wide. 12,000 miles. Earth is 8,000 miles wide. This crack in the surface of the sun is 12,000 miles deep, and runs a long way. And it's going to be letting out a lot of stuff that might give us some. That's kind of like a crawl hole. A lot of solar wind. We might get some more just from that. So, Mother Earth Garden Club, I'm heading to bed soon. All right, anybody got a career? We need to pray for Granny. We need to pray for Granny Lana's granddaughter, Kaylee. Let's pray for our good friend Randy Bly, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. In country, Lincoln really bungled the secession of the southern states. There didn't need to be a war. You're right. Well, he actually baited Governor Pickens of South Carolina. He knew Governor Pickens was a hothead, and that's why they stuck on the way they did in Fort Sumter, and they really baited Governor Pickens, and that's why they put Beauregard on it, and he eventually attacked Fort Sumter, and that started the war. So that's what happened there. Now, it didn't need to be a war. We should never have wars over those things. We need to not have wars. Wars are perverse. There's no just war unless it's defense. You defend yourself. If you get attacked, defend yourself. If you're the aggressor, you're the invader. There's never an excuse for that. I don't care what. I think it's got to be pretty darn bad. All right, now cha-cha, double halo, LOL. Let's see, prayers for God's will in our life. Okay. Your sister passed away. Well, let's pray for Eric, everyone. Pray for Eric Cord. His sister passed away. It's 9 in the morning in my country. I'm having coffee. All right, Tez, where you at? Are you in like New Zealand? Where you at, Tez? Tell us, Tez, where you at? New Zealand, Australia. I'm thinking New Zealand. So prayers for everyone in the house and you too, Greg. Let's see, what time is it here? No, you can't be as far away as New Zealand. It's that time. You're somewhere else. Where are you, Tess? Like maybe it's a good question. That's so sad, Eric. Okay. Joe, at court. All right. Wow. Angel says, always listening to you, Greg. Thank you. That's excellent, Greg. Think old long border going to hit the rack. Okay. All right. She was 100% Indian. All right. Romanian on the board. Okay, guys, let's say a prayer for all these fine people. This is not a religious channel. I'm not here to tell you how to pray. But pray according to your own method, because I do believe in the power of prayer. So let's just have a short prayer here for the members of our family here at Green Graves. We are a family, and for the world. All right. Yes, that girl will pray for the world too. All right. Very good. Pray for peace. All right, Tez, did you tell us where you're from? Romania, on the border with Ukraine. Wow. Okay, Tez. Tez, how do you feel about all that over there? Do you feel like Romania is at risk from Russia? How do you feel? Do you feel okay? Do you feel safe? Or do you feel risk? What are you feeling, Tez? Yeah, we do need to pray for peace. Let's pray for peace again and go to bed, everyone. We got people in our channel here who are on the border over there, things going on. Bicycle rider, Green Greg's. Hi, may God bless you also. Well, thank you. Melanie, many more souls. Be so loving and joyful. Well, thank you, Melanie. Status quo, priest in the Lord's name. God bless. Monique, amen. There you go. All right. All right, Tess. Traveler, praying, clapping. There you go. Clapping for U.S. and praying for Earth. Amen. Mona Pearl, Greg is an old soul. There you go, Monique. Been around. Monique Pearl. That's a beautiful name. Monique and Pearl are each beautiful names. Monique is a French name. So, all right. Tez, not safe, Greg. We have a couple of American NATO bases in Romania. Yeah, it probably makes you a target. That's not good. All right, everybody, pray for peace and pray for Tez again tonight when you go to bed. The harvest is ready. The scythe will thrust. Yeah, the wine press. The grapes are ripe. I know what you mean, but a wise one says, no, thank you, Arnold. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, folks. Showing up everywhere, I believe it's a sign. Oh yeah, that trident thing. Yeah, that has meaning. They're showing it on their side. You know, it's in the Ukrainian flag too. So that's kind of a very questionable thing. There is no just war. Your friends blown to bits. Yeah, exactly. And wars always attack the innocent, unfortunately. Especially modern warfare. Greg, there was mass shooting somewhere, didn't click the video. Oh, okay, Eric, sorry to hear that. That's not good. That's terrible. And I think a lot of these things are done to take away from us what we got. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, mods, for the work you do. Thank you all for contributing, for being part of our family tonight. Oh, what's happening here? I got to hang up here. I thank everyone for coming in here, and you're all wonderful people. We got a good family, and that's who we are here. We're family on Green Graves. Thank you, everyone, for watching.